Good morning. Welcome to the millage rate hearing number 1 for our budget. This is a hearing. What this means is this is where we hear from the public. So board members will not be speaking today. This is 100% hearing from the public. We'll first have a presentation by Ms. Page, and then we'll hear from you. Right.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
This is the fiscal year 2027 budget process public hearing on the millage rate. Public hearing on the millage rate, taxpayer bill of rights. Although the district is not seeking to raise the millage rate, any millage rate that is in excess of the rollback rate must be advertised as a tax increase, requires a press release to be issued, and requires 3 public hearings to be held. These are the dates. We are currently in the July 8th, 11 a.m. hearing. This is our first board millage rate public hearing. We will have a second public hearing on the millage rate tonight at 6 p.m., and we will have our final hearing, number 3, for the public for the board millage rate public hearing at 6 p.m. on July 15th. In 1999, the Georgia General Assembly passed the Taxpayer Bill of Rights with the intent to prevent what was referred to as backdoor tax increases. The Taxpayer Bill of Rights and rules were developed by the Georgia Department of Revenue to implement this legislation to establish a process that all local government jurisdictions, which includes counties, cities, and boards of education, must follow. This process ensures full disclosure to the public for any increases, including increases that result from value inflation. The Taxpayer Bill of Rights was established to notify the public about inflationary increases to existing property values at the local government level. It also enhanced individual property owners' rights when objecting to and appealing an increase in a property's appraised value to the County Board of Assessors. According to the Taxpayer Bill of Rights, each taxing jurisdiction must roll back or reduce the millage rate each year to offset any inflationary increases in the tax digest. If the county or other governing authority elects to set their millage rate higher than the rollback rate, then they must follow certain requirements to notify the public that taxes are being increased. The public notification process includes 3 public hearings, public notices of the increase in the local newspaper, and press releases. Each year, the Chatham County Board of Assessors establishes the taxable value of all property in the county and publishes the certified tax digest for each taxing jurisdiction. The Board of Education has 2 separate taxing jurisdictions and therefore receives 2 separate tax digests, one for maintenance and operations and another for bonded indebtedness. Each of these 2 taxing jurisdictions has its own millage rate, which is determined by the board. Taxable values exist for 6 types of property: real property, personal property, vehicles, mobile homes, timber, and heavy-duty equipment. Digest values for both jurisdictions are shown on the chart. The current digest amounts and the amounts for the last 5 years will be published in the local newspaper as required by law. Sometimes when assessed property values go up, homeowners will pay more taxes even when the school district millage rate remains unchanged or is lowered. Even though the millage rate has not gone up, taxpayers may see increased cost. This is because the value of their property has increased. In the chart presented, the red line represents the millage rate. The millage rate in this example is unchanged. As the property value increases in year 2, the higher tax liability is a result of increased property values. For fiscal year 2027, SCC PSS recommends no change in the current millage rate of 17.331 mils. Changes in the digest value of real property, one of the 6 types of property, can take 2 forms: new construction or reassessment of existing property. Once the assessors establish the taxable value of real property, they calculate the millage equivalent of any reassessments, subtract it from last year's millage rate, and the result becomes the rollback rate. This millage equivalent is determined by taking the value of reassessments divided by the total digest and multiplying the result by last year's millage rate. This calculation is shown on the slide. The tentative millage rate adopted by the Board of Education for Maintenance and Operations exceeds the rollback rate. Here you see the 17.331 mils remains the same in the 2 millage rates from last year to the initial tentative rate for the calendar year 2026. Calculations of school taxes on a home valued at $250,000 with only the state regular homestead exemption are shown in this slide. This is an example of a property tax bill which the property value increases from the prior year using the recommended millage of 17.331 mils. The total estimated tax for county school M&O is $2,253.03. On this slide, this is an example of a property tax bill in which the property value does not change from the prior year using 17.331 mils. The total estimated tax for county school maintenance and operations is $2,079.72. On this slide, this is an example of a property tax bill in which the property value decreases from the prior year using the recommended millage of 17.331 mils. The total estimated tax county school maintenance and operation is $1,906.41. This concludes the presentation on the school millage rate. Thank you very much.
Okay, it is now time for us to hear from the public. If you are here to speak to us on the millage rate, please raise your hand. If you're here to speak, no one's here to speak? Okay. You may speak, but please come up here. And please give us your name, and you'll have 3 minutes.
Good morning, everyone,
Good morning.
and happy Wednesday. My name is Wanda Hayes, and I'm just coming for clarification. After talking to some of my elderly neighbors, I was like, I've got to come. I just want to make sure that I'm understanding this correctly, that there will not be a change in the millage rate for them in terms of rate relative to their property tax?
So we are maintaining the millage rate from what it was set last year, but there could be a implication if the property value increases. There could be an increase to the amount the taxpayer pays as a result of their property evaluation.
Okay, and what is the process in terms of, because like some of the homes that they're currently living in, the valuation may not be accurate, so.
The tax commissioner and tax assessor office, they do the property evaluations. We do not.
Okay. Thank you. I just want to make sure I understood it correctly.
Yes, ma'am.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Come on.
Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Laurie Jenkins. So my question is, I've read some information, and I'm here to educate myself. I understand the property value, that y'all don't set that and everything, but I understand there was a shortfall in your budget of $28.5 million. Now, is that correct?
So we are anticipating receiving $28 million less than what we anticipated when we did our forecasting.
Okay. And what caused that? What brought about that shortfall?
Combination of things. So our decreased enrollment has resulted in about a $6 million decrease in QBE funding that we receive from the state. And in addition to that, our local funding has been impacted by House Bill 782, which has put a cap on the amount of tax revenue in our tax digest that we collect. In addition to that, we had a few grants expire this year. And in order to continue with employment for those people who were paid for through those grants, to give them a bridge year, we also we are using dollars to continue their employment for one more year.
Okay.
So when you do the combination of all of those things, it's about a $28.3 million, I would say, not necessarily a shortfall. It is less than what we anticipated. So when we build our budget, we don't know how much we're going to get from local dollars. But
Right.
we try to forecast that
Okay,
based
but
on previous years. So
my
it's
question
28
is,
less.
I'm an entrepreneur. I've owned a business since 2004.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
manufacture in the United States. And I understand very well about sales, revenue, cost, all that, because it all stops with me. And, when I see something happening, like, the pandemic came and everything else, and we had this huge increase, and then things have slacked off, I pulled back my spending. I anticipated. I'm running QuickBooks every 2 weeks. I'm doing the analysis on what my income statement is. I know, because I know what's going in my bank account. And I'm just kind of dismayed is that this just all kind of happened. I mean, we've all, our property values have gone up tremendously. We have all these costs and everything. And I just think that if I would see you guys, the school system, kind of tighten your belt like we've all had to in the private sector, and people who run businesses do the same thing. It's not an endless well of money. I don't get to go and just take water out. I mean, that's the thing is, I think we need to understand the circumstances. And you just said your enrollment's down. So those are your clients. You have less clients coming through the door, so your cost should be going down too. That's the only thing is approach this like a business person. I don't get to just think Uncle Sam or whoever is going to just give me money no matter what. If I don't get out and sell today, I don't have any money tomorrow. And that's my thing is I would challenge everybody here in the tax thing is to really step back and take a look at how you're running things. And are you running it the most efficiently like the rest of us are having to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
That's my assessment on this. And that's why I'm
Thank
here
you.
today.
Thank you so much for coming. Anyone else? All right. I will now accept a motion to go into executive session to discuss
So moved.
real estate. Seconded? That's Paul Smith. The voice of God. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor? Thank you. Thank you all for coming out this morning.